everyone, it's Natasha. Welcome back to my channel. And I have a fun idea for a video today, so I thought I would bring you along and show you some of the word we use nowadays is frugal treat ideas that my mom used to use for us when I was growing up, and I even used them for my own kids, and I still use them. They're fun, they're cost effective, they're easy, great to have on hand. So the first one I'm going to start with is Jigglers. Okay, so if you grew up in the 80s like I did, you ate a lot of Jigglers. I have a funny story. When I had my wisdom teeth cut out when I was 19, my husband and I were just dating at the time, and he came over and he was sitting with me as I was recovering. And so I was laying on the couch and I had, you know, the ice packs on and my cheeks were swollen up and everything. And my mom was making me Jigglers to help, you know, get the fluid intake and, you know, not have the problem with dry socket or anything. So I would wake up and I would eat a couple Jigglers, and I of course go back to sleep because I was on pain meds. But it was funny because every time I woke up I had a different flavored Jiggler, and I thought, well, that's so sweet, Mom's making me Jigglers. Well, what I found out later is that my husband, my boyfriend at the time, was eating all the Jigglers that I didn't eat in between. So she would bring in, you know, a batch of Jigglers that she made. I would eat a couple and he'd eat the rest. So then she'd go out and make another batch. So it was just kind of funny. One of those things that you laugh about later on in life. So anyway, I thought I would make a couple different flavors. Yeah, funny thing is we used to make them in like little, like sheet pans, and then we cut them up. Well, nowadays we have these amazing little silicone pans. I don't know if you use these, but I love them. You can use them to make individual brownies, individual beer breads, individual meatloaves. So we're going to make individual Jello Jigglers out of them. So I'm going to go ahead and spray them with a little bit of cooking spray. Now make sure you use the non-flavored cooking spray. I just use vegetable oil, so your Jigglers don't taste like oil. You know, if you use even I wouldn't use olive oil because that would make it, or butter flavored. Ugh, no, you don't want your Jigglers tasting like that. So I have a couple batches of big things of Jello. These are even more cost effective than buying them at the store in the little boxes. You can buy these at your bulk grocery store, GFS. This one is actually GFS brand, or wherever you shop for bulk groceries like Costco or Sam's Club. So anyway, the actual original Jello Jiggler recipe calls for 12 ounces of gelatin. This flavor is lemon. It's my favorite. These are great this time of year if you got people, you know, kids or even in your family that are friends that are sick or got colds or the flu or anything. Jello is a great thing to have because it helps keep you hydrated. And so, and with the lemon, you've got the citric acid and everything in there, so it's really good for helping get over colds. So I'm going to put 12 ounces of lemon flavored Jello in here. I'm just going to use a canning jar that's got the mark, 12 ounce mark. So there's 12 ounces, and then it calls for 2.5 cups of water. Again, I'm just going to use my boiling water. I'm just going to use my canning jar. I'm going to do 2.5 cups is 20 ounces, so I'm going to do 10 ounces twice. Now remember, when you're making Jigglers, you don't make the, you don't put the cold water in, you just put the hot water in. So I'm going to stir that up first. And then we'll go ahead and put in another 10 ounces of water. Okay. And it says on the original Jello Jiggler recipe to stir until completely dissolved. So we're going to go ahead and stir that up. This recipe, I mean, it's one of those, kind of like a long lost recipe. I don't hear too much about it. It used to be when I was growing up, you heard about Jigglers all the time. I mean, it was advertised on TV, it was advertised in the magazines. I think you hear about them a little bit like around Easter. They talk about making the Jello Jiggler eggs. So whatever people have, if people just don't make them as much, or they just don't talk about it. I don't know. But I think they're yummy. Each one of these silicone bar pans that I have holds 24, has 24 sections in it. No, I'm sorry, has 16 sections in it. 4, 8, 16. So we're going to get a total of 32 jigglers. So that'll be nice. Nice way to divide that out. And what I do, our weather is cold enough right here. I think it's about 10 degrees outside. I'm just going to stick these outside and let them solidify on the patio table. If you got room in your fridge, go ahead and go for that. But sometimes finding flat space in my fridge can be a little difficult. All right, there is the lemon. Now we're going to do the orange. Again, same thing. We're going to put in 12 ounces. There it is. 12 ounces of Jell-O. This is orange. And 2.5 cups of water. Oh, that smells good. I used to beg my mom to let me, when she was making Jell-O when I was growing up, I used to beg her to let me have the Jell-O when it was still kind of warm, just getting, starting to get gelled. I loved to drink it. I used to love to drink the Jell-O, especially when I was not feeling good. She'd let me drink the Jell-O. And again, Jell-O is one of those really inexpensive things, and if you've got kids that you're trying to get fluids down in them because they're just not feeling good, they're just not wanting to eat or drink anything, Jell-O is a good way to get fluids in them. Okay, there's the orange. See how super easy it is? Other than just having to wait for the Jell-O to set up, that's about all there is to it. Alright, there we go. We have 32 Jell-O Jiggler treats. I'm going to put those outside and start letting them get gelled, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the next treat. Okay, I'm back. We are on to treat number 2, Frugal treat number 2. This one was another favorite of mine that my mom always made growing up, that I made for my kids that they still like for me to make. When they get old enough, it's good to have the kids help with it themselves. It helps with their small motor skills because you can give them a butter knife and let them do it. Just don't get overly picky about the results of how the cookies look when they're done. This is graham cracker cookies with icing. When I was growing up, money was tight, so we always, my mom was always looking for ways to save money. So a can of icing and a box of graham crackers went a really long way into making cookies. We'd make them for when when you could still bring things in for class treats. My mom would make them. And what's cool about it is when you make them, now when the kids were younger or when my mom was making them, of course you'd spread the icing out thinner in order to get as much bang for your buck. But as the kids got older, or if I let my kids make them on their own, you should have seen how thick some of these cookies were. But this is chocolate icing with a graham cracker. You can use whatever flavor icing that you like, whatever your kids like. I like lemon, so I picked up lemon today. So this is, I'm gonna make a batch of chocolate and I'm gonna make a batch of lemon. And what's great about these cookies is they're not, my kids are like, we have to make them, but we can't eat them that day because we don't like them when they're crunchy. We like them when they get stale, and not necessarily stale, but the icing starts absorbing into the graham cracker, so they get soft, so the cookie gets soft, and that's when they taste the best. Super easy to make. You can make up a whole batch of them for the family. Make them for your kids' friends when they come over. You can break them up if you don't want the double ones. You can break them up into the single ones for like when the kids are really young. They just make a really fun treat to get the kids involved. I can't ever remember not having these as a treat. And I don't think if you ask my kids, they probably couldn't tell you when they've not had them. They used to get so excited when I make them, even over store-bought treats. They would get more excited about these silly graham cracker cookies. So this is the lemon. Like I said, buy any icing that you like. Oh, I didn't get a knife. Let me grab a knife for the lemon. Like I said, this is lemon because it's my favorite, but I saw at the grocery store today, holy cow, there is a ton of different flavors of icing out there. There's like a salted caramel. I mean, you can get really fancy. We're not going for fancy. We're just going for yummy, delicious treats. So let me do a couple more lemon here. I'd let the kids make these, boy, would they make a mess. I had to learn to just walk away when they were making them, because I think the dogs ended up with more graham crackers that they dropped on the floor than the kids did by the time they were done. But that's okay. That's what's important. It's the memories that you make when the kids are growing up. Memories, memories, memories. I don't think my husband had these growing up. I don't ever remember him mentioning it. But it was a big treat in our family. If you ever had them growing up or you made them for your own family, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear other moms' stories about their kids. And if you made other treats, frugal treats for your kids that they just loved for your family, let me know that too. I'd love to hear about them. Okay, so I'm gonna put these aside, and I'll go ahead and work on those. Finish that up later, and I'm gonna do the final treat for you. Now, this one, I don't know who remembers how popular chicken and biscuit crackers were in the 70s and 80s. This is a treat that you can you can do for any age, but I remember my brother introducing it to me first. He was the first person that introduced me to this treat. And when I tell people about this, the first thing I get is, ooh, really? This, you can use any kind of cracker you like, whatever your favorite cracker is, whatever your favorite cheese is. But the important part right here is the A1 sauce. Yes, I said cheese and crackers with A1 sauce. Now, I know that sounds strange, but please do not knock it until you've tried it. I'll grab a knife for the cheese. I'm not prepared today. Usually I run my cheese through the food processor to slice it nice and even, but I'm just going to show you guys how I make these, so I'm not going to run it through the food processor right now. Okay, so it's as simple as taking your chicken and biscuit. What we like to do is pour out some chicken and biscuit on a plate and then some crackers and take the A1 sauce in and have it for a treat. Or we're watching a movie or whatever. So you take your cheese, this is just cheddar cheese, and your chicken and biscuit or whatever kind of cracker you like. Make sure you shake up your A1 sauce. Now the hardest part of this whole entire treat is try not to pour out the whole bottle of A1 sauce. That's why you want to shake it and then pour it ever so slowly because you will end up with a mess if you don't. In the beginning, if you're first making these and you haven't made them before, go ahead and pour a little bit of A1 sauce out onto a plate and then just kind of dip them in there because you don't want to overdo it. There's just the right amount of A1 sauce. So you can make up a few of these. And anyone that's ever tried them after they've been like, ooh, I don't know about that, they love them. And then we end up fighting over them. Until usually we run out of crackers or cheese, whichever one we run out of first. Alright, so there you have it. There are 3 frugal and yummy snacks that you can make for your kids or for your family or for yourself to have on your next snack night. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any frugal snacks that you want to share, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe because that really helps me out with the viewers and getting my videos seen because I love doing these videos for you. Sharing my recipes with you, although today wasn't really a recipe, today was just a fun, this is what we do, kind of a kid mom thing. So anyway, thank you for watching and we will talk to you later. Bye.